One of the biggest pains in life is comparing ourselves with others. We often think, why is she so successful and I'm not? But we forget that her path and our path are not the same. If a fish spends its whole life wishing to fly like a bird, it will always believe it's not good enough, even though it can swim across the entire ocean. Today, because of social media, this habit of comparing ourselves has become even stronger. We see someone else's success and suddenly our own life feels small. We forget about our own talents. And slowly this way of thinking pushes us into sadness and hopelessness. That's why today's story is for anyone who has ever thought, "I never be as good as them." In a small village near a beautiful forest lived a boy named Arnav. He was hardworking and kind. But one habit always made him feel unhappy. He constantly compared himself with others. When he saw his friend Kabir always getting the best grades, Arnav thought, "I wish I were that smart." When he looked at his neighbor Rohan, who was very rich, Arnav sighed, "I wish I had money like him." Even when he saw someone running fast, he told himself, "Why can't I run like that?" These thoughts made him restless and sad. He couldn't focus on studies, he didn't enjoy anything, and all the time he kept thinking, "I never be like them." One day, a wise old man visited the village. Everyone lovingly called him Grandpa Hari, because his words were always full of wisdom. Arnav went to him and said, "Grandpa, I work hard, but when I see others doing better, I feel hopeless. It feels like I'll never be as good as them." Grandpa Hari smiled and said, "Come to the oldest tree in the village tomorrow morning. You will find your answer there." The next morning, Arnav went to the tree where Grandpa Hari was already waiting. "Look around carefully," said Grandpa. Arnav looked and replied, "There are so many trees. Some tall, some short, some full of fruits, and some with none." Grandpa Hari smiled and said, "Now imagine if this mango tree compared itself to the tall palm tree and said, 'Why am I so short?' Or if the palm tree wished, 'I want sweet fruits like the mango.' Wouldn't that sound silly?" Arnav laughed. "Yes, Grandpa, very silly." Then Grandpa asked, "Now tell me, how does this whole forest feel to you?" Arnav looked around and said, "It feels peaceful and beautiful. Everything seems just right." Grandpa Hari nodded and said, "That's how life is. Every tree in this forest has its own purpose. The mango gives sweet fruit, the palm is tall and strong. They are different, yet both are important. In the same way, every person has unique strengths." Then Grandpa Hari took Arnav near a pond. Fish were swimming in the water, while a bird flew gracefully in the sky. Grandpa pointed and said, "Now imagine if the fish said, 'I wish I could fly like the bird.' Would that make sense?" Arnav shook his head. "Of course not. Fish are made for swimming, birds are made for flying." Grandpa Hari smiled gently and said, "Then why do you want to be like someone else? You too have your own qualities, your own path. Maybe you just haven't discovered them yet. Focus on your strengths and walk your own journey." Those words touched Arnav deeply. Something changed inside him. From that day, he stopped comparing himself with others. Instead, he began to focus on his own talents and efforts. Slowly, his confidence returned. Life felt fresh and exciting again. A few years later, with his dedication and hard work, Arnav built a successful business. He became an inspiration for the entire village. Whenever someone asked, "How did you achieve so much?" Arnav would simply smile and say, "Never compare yourself with others. If a fish tries to fly, it will always feel like a failure. But if it swims, it can conquer the ocean." Remember, the sun and the moon do not shine at the same time, yet both are important. Find your own path. Walk it in your own way. That's when true success comes.